Okay, great. Um, Hi, good morning. I'm looking still for, okay, I'm now seeing what I need to see, getting set up here. I'm going to start in about, well, hopefully I'm going to start when my people log on. Hopefully people are going to log on with me this morning. I've got 3 requests, 3 people that are who have signed up to be with me this morning, doing our coaching and intuitive reading stuff during the live stream today. And I'm excited, actually. I'm really excited. This is going to be really fun. The thing is, okay, wait, first, do this. I have to make sure, just 1 second. Here we go. Boom, save. Yes. Okay. I did it. I did it. All right. Okay, so look. Hey, good morning. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and my company is Badass Butterfly. Because I'm a badass butterfly. Look at me. It's 8 o'clock on Wednesday, April 8th. We're in the midst of a global pandemic, and I'm sitting here doing a live stream. I'm going to talk to you about the moon, the power of the moon, the full moon in Libra, and the power of the sun in Aries. And I'm a badass because I expect us to still be thriving in spite of our global pandemic. Okay. So I'm going to do my part to help us thrive. And I'm glad you're here. So actually, I have my thingy set up here. I am going to set up my live stream also on Instagram because that's how I roll. I double fist my technology. I double fist my technology. Okay. Except I'm not sure of what is going on with this live stream. This is really weird camera stuff. Let's turn you around. Maybe you should look at me. There we go. That's why that wasn't working. Okay. Hi. I don't know what's up with me and technology these days. Like the last few days, I've been really, it's as if Mercury has been retrograde. None of my technology has worked, but that's okay. Doesn't need to actually function. My technology doesn't need to function, because I'm spirit powered. Okay, so I want to get started talking about what we're going to be doing today and the energies of this full moon. So my work is to actually uh, um, spend time helping people transform from whatever mindset is limiting them currently to a more evolved, triumphant mindset. It's as if you start off as a caterpillar, and what we do is we help you shift into being that badass butterfly, which is already inside of you. It's just you have to go through a process of metamorphosis to help you break free. So, the way that I believe we do this, like one of the most powerful things that we can do is to actually work with the sun and the moon. Both of those planets, okay, the sun and the moon, they're I guess they're not planets. The sun is a sun or a star, and the moon is a moon. But these celestial bodies, both of these celestial bodies are really, really powerful when it comes down to things that are very important to us as humans. Number one, our thinking, and number two, our emotions. So your emotions are energy in motion, and your thinking is a process by which you take energy, you take ideas, and you bring them together in order to create your human experience, right? So when the sun moves into a particular sign, as it does every 30 days or so, it shifts from one constellation of stars into another. Every time it makes that shift, there is um, there is um, a shift in our uh, way of being. So right now, the sun is in Aries, and I want to contrast this so that you understand what I'm saying. In February, from February 18th through March 20th, the sun was in the sign of Pisces. During that time, we were more feeling, we were more sensual. It was a little harder to stay direct. We maybe felt more fear. We were more moody. Our moods were more changing. We were more emotional. The moment the sun moved into Aries, we went from being, oh, hey, yeah, we went from that into, yeah, okay, so let's get stuff done, okay? We got very courageous, we got very bold. That was because there was a shift from one way of being into another way of being. Um, we went from being with the sun in Pisces and that sensual thing into having the sun in Aries, where we're much more fiery, we're much more direct, much more masculine. Sorry, I just had someone sign on and I see Jenna. Hi. Hi, good to see you. Good morning. I know you're muted and I can't see you, but that's good. That's perfectly fine, darling. So I'm just doing an introduction right now. So so right now, that's what the sun is doing. The sun has us focused, or has our energy being much more masculine, assertive, direct, focused, streamlined, more like, I want to say like an arrow and like a straight line. We're much more about kind of getting things done and taking things in a very head-on way. Great. So now the moon has come full. So the moon represents our divine feminine self. The moon is about our intuition. It's our feeling nature. It's our subconscious self. It can be our fears. Things that are below the level of consciousness are actually a part of the moon's what the moon brings to our world. So right now, the moon is full in the sign of Libra. So at 7:35 last night, the moon moved into the sign of Libra. So what does this mean? That's what I want to talk to you all about today. And then once we're done with that, we're going to go into coaching. All right. So when the moon, okay, so first I want to tell you a little bit about the moon. We all know that the moon controls the tides of the earth, right? Being as how we human beings are made of water, we also are affected by the moon as she flows. The tides of our being are also affected by the moon. So, what happens is when the moon becomes full, there's a natural tendency for the subconscious part of ourselves to kind of rise to the top and to come forward. And things that were hidden or buried, unseen, um, obscure, distant, remote, things that we had shoved down are now rising to the top. Now, this is a great opportunity for us. The problem is that this is kind of scary for most people because we're accustomed to being more masculine oriented. So we're accustomed to kind of getting things done and dealing with things in a logical, rational way. Well, when the moon comes full, which happens every single month, every 28 days, the moon goes full. But it's only for 2 or 3 or 4 days that we actually feel this and are affected by it, and most of us try to squash down those feelings. Unless you are a follower of the moon and a follower of spirit, unless you're into woo-woo, you're probably suppressing and denying these feelings that the moon conjures up within you. You know, you see people acting crazy on the streets. You see your animals acting crazy at home. Your kids are running wild. And yet the rational part of you is saying, yes, no, it's just whatever. It's just a coincidence. There's nothing that could possibly be affecting them that's like kind of a universal law. That says everybody goes crazy at this time of year because that can't possibly happen. Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens. It is the law of this planet Earth, the dynamic of the planets to Earth, the constellations. Yes, once a month, we all go crazy, and we should. It's our divine right. We should howl at the moon once a month whenever we can, okay? Whenever that moon goes full, we need to be outside running naked, howling and giving birth to our subconscious processes. The more we do that, the more sane we would be as a society if we acknowledged this and did something beautiful surrounding it, which is why we have the moon rituals. Now, if you have been following me and if you're on my email list, you will have gotten the link to join the full moon ritual, or to download the full moon ritual. And actually it was my partner here today on the session, Jenna. It was Jenna who pointed out to me and said, hey, we're in Libra, why is there a Virgo um ritual uploaded? Yeah, that's because my technology could not keep up with me. I mean that literally. My technology could not keep up with me. Okay, I have a brand new iMac and it is too slow. I'm like, save. And it was like, what? She did that lightning fast. We're not saving. We're just going to upload the old paradigm. We're going to upload the old self, okay? So yes, I literally had changed everything in some kind of way. It didn't save. So just make sure that you go back and you get the right worksheet, please, so that you're not working on stuff that's not irrelevant. I mean, the stuff that's in Virgo is always going to be relevant, of course, but it's not what you're supposed to have. Okay. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can sign up for that. And actually, what I will do is put a link to get the ritual in, let's see, full moon ritual, this right here, copy, and I'm pasting this into the YouTube chat. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can go download this ritual. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, I just uploaded in the chat the link to actually download the ritual. So you're more than welcome to do that, okay? All right, boom. So right now we have the full moon in Libra. What does this mean? Okay, so Libra is the sign or the constellation that rules the life sector of partnership, relationships, okay, and the law. So when we talk about relationships in this particular, sorry, there are a few distractions that are coming in that I need to quiet that and make sure that, okay, this is good. All right, so when we're talking about relationships under the sign of Libra, we want to be talking about things that are legally binding relationships. So your marriage partner, okay, your business partner, and any other kind of contract that you go into with another person or with a group of people or whatever. This is about having a legally bound partnership and how you behave in that relationship. So Aries is the sign of being one. Me, I am independent. Aries is about the egoic self. It's about having self-identity. On the other end of that spectrum is Libra, right? Sun in Aries, moon in Libra. The sun wants us to find our own personal authority. Libra wants us to share our personal authority. So this is about coming together in partnership. It's about coming together and committing to a set of rules where things are just and balanced and honorable and in integrity, and creating something new. When two when two things in authority come together, they are creating a new thing. This is no longer left hand and right hand. This is one hand, and whatever it's going to be called, whatever you call that union. You know, if you are uh, Matthew James and you are coming together with uh, Paula Poundstone, love that name so much, you are becoming one, and you're naming yourselves whatever you are, you know, like Brad and Angelina, they become Brangelina. They're no longer Brad and Angelina. They've formed Brangelina, right? So what is at stake right now? And what you have to look at is where you are in a contractual agreement with something else. Now, this, like I said, could be a marriage, or it can be a business partner. It can be a relationship with another thing. It can be the relationship between you and your apartment manager, or you and your bank. Wherever there's a contract and you all are coming together, this is a great time to look at that and to find out what needs to be healed. Now, for me, the thing that needed to be healed was actually this relationship with myself, and it was about an issue of responsibility. So the healing for me came through a memory of something that happened when I was a child with my mother. I was 4 years old. My mother was trying to do the right thing for me, but she didn't understand what I needed in that moment, which is totally understandable, because who understands the mysterious needs of a 4-year-old? 4-year-olds are really badass. They have all sorts of perceptions that are going in, and then they also have a mind that's working and developing. So they're taking things in and drawing conclusions all over the place. And you look at them and you think, oh, you're just a little person. You're just 4 years old. You're barely a person. And I'm going to do everything for you. I'm going to think for you. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, well, that's what my mom was trying to do for me. She was trying to be my mother. The thing that I needed in this particular situation was to be explained to, though not like I was a child, but to be given a choice. I needed to be given a choice. I needed to be brought into the dialogue that was going on, so that I could say what I would like, and then if I could just had what I wanted, I'd be okay, right? So that's what I realized this morning. So here's where the Libra thing comes in. Me, Crystalline adult, had to go back to my little girl self and become the responsible one in the situation. I had to make a commitment to the child. And this is what this Libra thing is about. It's about making a commitment. This is a little bit of a sidebar, but you notice how, like, when you look at astrology stuff and you look up Libra, the astrologers always say that Libras are indecisive. They have a hard time making decisions. Well, Libras don't have a hard time making decisions because they know what it is they want to do. But the problem comes in making the commitment to the thing, because these people understand the weight and the enormity of both sides, things that are happening on both sides of the equation. So this is why it's difficult to make a decision, because they get it. Okay. It's not that they can't make a decision, it's that they really just don't want to make a decision because they understand the suffering or what's going to be lost if they give in to what's happening. Okay. So when we have this full moon in Libra, our job is to go in and to take responsibility for that whatever whatever it is that needs our care, whatever it is we have to decide for, we have to take responsibility for that decision. Okay. The thing is, we also have to take responsibility for the thing we're not deciding about. Now, what we give to each one of these things is entirely up to us, but we have to make the decision to negotiate for these two things. So for me, as the adult, I've got my mom on one hand who has her needs, is trying to do her thing, right? And she's trying to be protective of me as a child. And she's also trying to take care of this other thing that she had going on. Okay. I, as the adult, totally get that. But the child has this particular need, which I've already explained. Boom, me as the one on the outside who's coming in, going to do the healing, who needs the healing for both of these. I've got to be committed to both of these. So what we have to do right now is to get very clear about what the different needs are around us, the different social contracts that are around us, whether it's to, whatever it is that's bugging you, whoever it is that's around you, you've got an obligation to meet the needs of that contract that you've gone into. Okay. So what I'm suggesting you do is to make note of what it is that you need to do. Write it down literally in your journal. Write, 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 write. Okay? Get it all out. And then once you've cleared the air, everything is out on the page, everything's out on the table. What you've got to do is then be accountable to all those things. It is not as hard as you think. Once you actually write stuff down, you can either handle stuff immediately, or if you need to plan to handle stuff, then you can make a plan. So when I looked at these two parts of myself, there was the mother who had the need and the child who had the need. What I did was listen to the mother. And the mother said, I need this, I need that, and I need that. And I need her, I need her to be okay while I'm doing this, that, and the other. And I said, okay, I hear you. Those are valid things that you need as a woman, blah, blah, blah. Those are valid. And then I went to the child and I said, hey, tell me what you need. And she says, I need this, I need that, I need that. I said, those are valid needs, blah, 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 blah. Boom, I've heard everybody. And I went to this person and I said, okay, my mother, and I went to her and I said, okay, can you give her this time? Can you put those other people aside, tell them what you need to do, take your time, and then come and spend with her, explain to her what it is that you need, and see if she can receive you. And so mother said yes. And so this is all happening in my mind, by the way. So mom comes over and she listens, she says what she needs, and the little kid, okay, I'm watching this unfold. The little kid inside me totally understands exactly what's going on. And the little kid inside me actually says yes. I feel her need to have those things. I can see that she needs to have these things. So I want to let her have those things. So the little kid was like, yeah, you can have those things. And so my job, again, as the mediator between these two parts of myself, was to say, all right, now, mother, can you listen to your daughter? Can you actually receive her? And mother was like, yeah, I've been heard. I'm totally open to receiving what this child needs. So the child told her, and mother listened. Mother was able to receive. And so the child got what she needed. The mother got what she needed. And guess what? I'm the one who received the healing. And when I was done with this very powerful transformational process, I had an amazing sense of openness. I went in to finish my meditation. I went in to do my yoga practice. My yoga practice doubled, like just from me clearing that energy within myself, creating harmony within my two parts. The thing that I dread, I hate doing yoga in the morning. I get up, I have to force myself. It's hell until today, until this moment of peace and reconciliation within myself. So this is the benefit of the full moon in Libra. The opportunity to take two different sides and to create reconciliation and to create something new. I'm the new thing. Here's mother, here's inner child. The two have come together to give birth to this being right here that you see. That is the work that you're going to do. Now, like I've said, there is the full moon in Libra ritual, which is uploaded. I put the link on YouTube, and I will upload that formally later. If you're already in the program, you already have access to this stuff. Okay, you probably got an email with it already, so good. I'm not going to worry about it. Do the Libra ritual, okay? And just to give you a little bit of insight about how the ritual works, the format that I have, there are three different parts. There's the ritual itself, okay, that's in one workbook. Then there's the Zodiac supplement. That's in another workbook. And then there's the meditation. The meditation actually goes with the first ritual workbook. It's something that I recorded just because Jenna asked me to. Actually, I don't know that it was Jenna who asked me to, but Jenna was like, this should be recorded. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll get to that. And then a month later, I did finally actually manage to get it done. Okay, I recorded it, I mixed it. Okay, it's got some music to it. But the ritual itself is a book. And then the recording you can use when it gets to the meditation part, right? It'll say, hey, this is where the meditation is. And then you just hit play or whatever. You download the MP3, you turn that on, and that'll help guide you through the meditation so you're not having to read it. Okay. Now, before you do the ritual, I suggest you do the Zodiac supplemental worksheet, because the moon ritual for yourself is always going to be about the same thing. The moon always does the same waxing and waning. The supplemental workbook with the Zodiac, though, is where it changes, and that changes your focus. So right now, like I said earlier, we're focusing on partnerships, relationships, those kinds of things, right? Okay. Next month, let's see, in 1 month from today, we are going to have the full moon in Taurus. No, sorry. We're going to have the full moon in Scorpio. Okay, we have the full moon in Libra right now. We're going to have the full moon in Scorpio. That sector is our sexual energy. It's our birth and death and creativity drive. So the energy is going to be very different. It's going to be very potent. We're going to have a totally different worksheet dealing with totally different issues, and it's going to feel very, very different. So right now, we're dealing with relationships and contract and the law. Next month, we're going to be dealing with sex, the actual physical act of sex, and transformation, the ability to surrender, the ability to let go, the ability to feel connection as you let go. This is something that's really complicated to just talk about, because I'm saying you need to be connected, and yet I'm saying you also need to let go. So how can you be connected and let go at the same time? Yeah, that's God. That's God right there, right? That is the nature of having, that is the nature of being alive and surrendering to God. But that's also the nature of orgasm, right? So this is why this whole thing of Scorpio is so powerful, because when you enter that state of orgasm, you have totally let go of your mind, and your body and your energy are completely in connection to all. So that is exactly what I mean about being connected and letting go. All right. We will talk about that next month. You definitely want to make sure you have the worksheet on that, because that's going to be some hard-hitting stuff. All right. So boom, we're done. I'm done talking about the first stuff, the first thing I want to talk about. Now I want to go into the coaching and the intuitive readings. So the way these live streams work is I'm going to spend the first 20 to 30 minutes talking about what's going on with the sun and the moon and the energy that's around, and helping you get kind of really geared up toward what is going on this particular week. Okay. Now, the second section I've dedicated to giving coaching and intuitive readings to people who need help coaching and doing intuitive readings. So I've got 2 people who are on the call with me right now, Jenna and Ronnie. Hi. And I've got 3 people who submitted their information to me previously, beforehand, right? So I have their emails and I've got their information. And so I'm going to talk to all of you. Now, whoever is on the call with me first, I'm going to talk to you first, and then I'm going to go to the emailed stuff after, okay? So Jenna was on the call first. Hold on, let's see. Jenna was on the call first, and so Jenna, you've typed in your question, but do you want to just talk about it? Or do you want me just to address it via the question? You can, if you don't feel like you don't want your voice heard, or you can do it as you want to.
Okay, I just unmuted myself.
Okay, good.
There you go. Okay, there. Guess where I am again.
No, wait, where? Not at the hair salon.
No, the bathroom, sitting in front of the freaking heater. I don't know why it's my favorite spot. Like, it's my quiet spot because Cooper's downstairs and he's being noisy, and I just come in here and shut the door. I mean, I have another spot I could go to actually. I'll go in the bedroom.
Yeah, no, that's okay, honey. That's perfectly fine. I didn't know that you were in the I didn't realize that the bathroom was your
that heater? You know those old-fashioned heaters?
Girl, yes.
Those old-fashioned heaters, I just love sitting in front of it.
Yes, yes. Oh my God. I remember when I was a kid, I used to like to wave my my nightgown in front of that and my nightgown in front of that heater, and then I'd wave it and then I'd put it on. One time I waved it and I got distracted, and girl, I set my nightgown on fire. Not on fire, didn't set it on fire. It just burned it. Like, it just charred my nightgown. It was my favorite Wonder Woman nightgown. Boom, charred, really upset, sad.
Wonder Woman of all things.
Exactly. All right, so Jenna, your question is about like Aries in the 7th house of your chart. Have you already, did I do your?
You sent me my chart, and then in the explanation it said something about, you know, be aware of what's in your 7th house. And so I was like, well, what does it mean if Aries is in my 7th house and we're in Aries sun right now?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, you know. We can go into some detail about that. But there's something that's kind of coming up for me. And I just want to ask you this question. Where do you lose yourself in your relationships?
Oh, that's easy because I already did the worksheet. In the worksheet, I tend to be agreeable on most things. You know, I like to just like let things be easygoing and the flow. But then every once in a while, there's something that's important, and then sometimes I don't stop and separate them. That song came into my head, "Keep them separated." Da-na, you know, I was like, keep these things separated. Like, what's not important to you, 90% of stuff is not important to me. So I appear to be a very easygoing person. But then when something is important to me, it usually has to do with my moral fiber. And and then I have to like put a stop, and I have to be firm. But then sometimes there's a line that's blurred. So I consciously need to stop when I feel like there's a blurred line. Like, this seems like a mundane thing, but really it's important. So I need to set a boundary there. Yeah.
Jenna, that's exactly the thing that's coming up for me. Do you happen to, you said that you have Aries in the 7th house. Do you mean that you have Mars in the 7th house?
It said Chiron.
Oh, Chiron. Okay, so you have Chiron in the 7th house. So that just means, yes, so you have Chiron and Aries in the 7th house?
Yes.
Okay, so it probably, so I think that maybe you should kind of understand that part of your life force energy, like the thing that this is what's coming up for me intuitively for you, Jenna. As you are expressing yourself through relationships, right? Because part of relationship is like helping you express yourself through other people, right? And having yourself mirrored back to you through other people, right? So sometimes we can get lost in the mirror of other people. And when we were talking a couple of weeks ago in session, you talked about establishing boundaries, right? The sun moved into Aries, and then all of a sudden you were very clear about boundaries. I think that this is important for you to understand that maybe learning how to establish boundaries in deep, meaningful, intimate relationships without losing the love and without losing sight of yourself and without losing sight of your partner will be
Mhm.
something that will be a really good exercise for you. So I would like to suggest that you start considering, as you're going forward in new relationships, and looking for partner, being open to partnership, you know, understanding that, again, you are an authority, and any man that comes to you is also an authority. How can you maintain your authority and allow his authority, so that the two of you together are creating a new definition of authority, a new definition of creativity, a new definition even of self, so that it's an evolution and a dance, as opposed to one takes over the other,
Yeah.
or a fight, where,
Yeah.
where you're pulling at each
Mhm.
other. Absolutely. Does that make sense?
Mhm. Yeah.
Good. Very good. Excellent. All right, sweetheart. I hope that's helpful for you.
Thanks.
And I forgot that I'm live on Instagram.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
forgot. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Instagram,
I'm
I'm
not a
so
private
sorry.
person.
No, it's okay. Well, Instagram can't see you at all. It's just me
Oh,
on
good.
Instagram. And
And
so
I also
they're only getting one side of the conversation. So my apologies to
cool. Yeah,
Instagram.
and yeah, whenever I hear someone else's
I'm gonna
thing,
sign
I
off
always
on Instagram. Bye guys. I'll see you guys next week. I'll figure this out for real. Sorry. Bye. Bye. Okay, sorry about that.
well, I just feel like whenever I hear somebody else's issues, I always can reflect inside myself something that I can relate to and learn from anyway. So I
Yeah.
always
Well, that's the whole point of doing this. The
get to
whole point of
share.
doing
Yeah.
this live is so that, because we all learn from one another, and
Mhm.
that's exactly why I have this online like this. So thank you for participating with an
Yeah,
open
I'm gonna
heart
mute
and an open
myself
mind.
now.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All
We'll
right.
see.
So we have Ronnie here. Hi, Ronnie. Ronnie, I'm gonna unmute you, okay?
I just did, I think.
Okay, hi, it's nice to meet you.
You too.
Thank
How are
you. I'm good. I'm good now. I'm real good now. You know what? The whole thing that brought on this whole thing that I did, this healing thing with my mom, like, my mom and my inner child, was because all of a sudden on Sunday, I started binge eating and I couldn't stop.
okay?
And Monday, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling it again. Tuesday, it was the same thing. And I'm like, okay, it's this full moon. I got to really pay attention. And I couldn't really settle down until this morning. So now I've gotten that clarity and I feel balanced again.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. So, Ronnie.
Sorry, my daughter just came in.
Oh, okay. Is she all right? Do you need to go attend her?
No, she's okay.
All right, cool. Ronnie, I like your haircut. That's really
Oh,
cute. I
thank you.
like
I
that
did.
asymmetrical style.
Thank you. I did it myself.
You did?
I did.
Beautiful. I love it when people can take care of themselves like that. Look, I'm already like trying to get back to, I have to twist my hair and it takes me so long to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. I said I'm doing it this week. So next week you'll maybe I'll actually have it done. Wish me luck.
Fingers crossed.
So, Ronnie, what's bringing you to the call today? Is there anything in particular that you'd like to talk about and that you'd like some help working on?
Well, I'll just give you like a little background of
Mhm,
my life.
mm,
So I grew up in New York City, in a with my mother and my father, and I have four siblings, and we grew up.
mm.
It was like an abusive situation. My father
Okay.
was abusive to my mom.
Mhm,
So that went on throughout my whole entire childhood, up until I graduated from high school. So I've seen a lot of abuse, a lot of
mhm,
police, it's just dysfunctional,
mhm,
um,
mhm,
drug use in the home as well.
mm.
Then I left home at 17, going on 18. I got pregnant. I had a child, and I had another child about a year and a half later.
Yeah.
And that didn't work out with the child's father, so I moved and I got into another relationship, and the relationship was abusive, for about, well, my marriage actually. I got
Mhm.
married. And it was abusive. And it's just really starting to calm down, and we trying to work it out,
Yeah.
but it's kind of hard. And there's old wounds, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's just been the same cycle, and I just want to break that cycle, and I need
Yeah.
help.
Okay, Ronnie, that's really good. I thank you so much for, bringing yourself and bringing your story to me this morning. And I want to tell you that my approach to healing, um, I consider this to be a very kind of raw approach to healing, right? Because we have to start with you. Now, I don't know yet your relationship with abuse. I hear you telling me about, the abuse you've experienced. But
Right.
when I say I don't know your relationship with abuse, what I mean is I don't know what your soul's agenda is regarding abuse.
Gotcha.
Now, when I say your soul's agenda, I mean the part of you that is here on earth intentionally in the situation that you are in.
Right.
Now, what I'm saying is, according to my spiritual philosophy, is that you are a powerful being. You are not just Ronnie.
Right.
You are God having a human experience through
Right.
Ronnie, and everything that you're experiencing is
Sorry.
an affirmation. It's an affirmation of God.
Right.
Okay. Now, my first question is, actually, here's what we would need to do for you, Ronnie. I would like to invite you to join me here every Wednesday so that we can actually take on this stuff together,
Okay.
okay? In this environment. I want you to make sure that you approve of it though, you're coming in to with me as a coach. And I got a crazy gene. And I need you to understand that my coach philosophy starts with you as the source.
Right.
Um, and for me, it's a very empowering philosophy, um, even though sometimes it can feel disempowering and sometimes it can feel crazy, but I do feel like I'm channeling, spirit authentically. Okay. What I'm going to ask you to do is to write down 3 objectives. And Jenna, you can do this too if you want to. 3 objectives that you want to take on seriously over the next 3 months. And they don't, when I say these objectives, if I, for example, were in an abusive relationship and I wanted healing for myself within that relationship, the very first objective I would write would be to find healing for myself within this relationship.
Good objective. That's a
Okay.
good one. Okay.
And what you can do though with these objectives is to kind of think, well, what would I be doing if I weren't, my relationship wasn't abusive? Well, I'd be, thriving at my job, or I'd be exercising, or I'd, will have lost, I wouldn't be 20 pounds overweight, or blah, 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 right?
Right.
So those are objectives that you can make as well. So they can be practical objectives, like I want to, stop this compulsive eating, because that's what I just mentioned, right? I was just Sunday, the compulsion stopped, and it went on for 3 days of, just, carbs, just okay, right? I want to stop that, Crystalline. I need to stop coping, but with food. Okay, that would be a great objective. Another objective, and so choose your objectives wisely, because I'm saying just take on 3, because that's kind of all we can do in this little space of time we have, but 3 months is a nice long time. That gives us time to dig deep. We can get to the core issue. We can also build new habits and things like that, right? So it's plenty of time. Okay. So again, examples of objectives, they can be very spiritual, like I want to get closer to God. I want to meditate on a regular basis. I want to start a yoga practice. Those are some examples of spiritual things. I want to feel more like, more free in my heart, whatever.
Right.
You can also have emotional objectives, such as I want to, I feel depressed, or I have this feeling of unworthiness inside me, or I don't feel like I can achieve the things that I want, Those are some good examples of emotions. Or I'm stuck. I feel emotionally stuck, or I don't feel my emotions. I don't know what I feel. Things like that. You can have energetic objectives, meaning I would like to feel the energy in my body. I want to actually be in touch with the energy in my body. Or I notice that I feel some stagnant energy around my heart space, right? I want to correct this. I want to remove this blockage. Oh, how old is your child?
She's 4. She's 4.
Oh, that sacred age. I was just talking to my little 4-year-old self. She's coming in to deliver me a message. I know she is.
Who, my daughter?
Yeah, tell her I said hi.
Say hi.
Tell her Crystal says hi.
Say hi.
Hi, honey. Hi. What? Oh, she's so pretty.
Say thank
Hi,
you.
beautiful. Hi, beautiful girl. See you later, princess.
She ran out.
I see. I saw them in the mirror. I saw the door open and close.
Oh, okay.
Really sweet. Oh, that's really nice. I feel very touched that Spirit's like, a little 4-year-old is coming in here to affirm you. Very good. But that could also, by the way, Ronnie, that could also be an objective, to kind of be in touch with old trauma. When I was a child, this thing happened to me. I want to find healing around this trauma. Okay. You can totally put that down as an objective too, and we can work on that as well. Okay. Very good. Oh, and then of course, the material objectives, physical things. I want to bring in more money. I want to get a better job. I want to get a better career. I want to lose weight. I want to, find something, get a new wardrobe, whatever. Those kinds of things can also be great objectives. Okay.
I had emailed you some objectives, but I want to change them.
Wait, when did you send them to me?
I sent them like around 11 o'clock today.
Oh, so you just sent them this morning.
Right.
Okay, that's fine then. So I will get them, Ronnie, and then I have a list, and actually I'll show you all the list. Let me pull this list up, because this is what I'm doing for everyone who's participating in the program. let's see, hold on. Okay, wait, can I do this filter? Oh, yeah, see, I just opened my email and they just came in, Ronnie. So, let's see. Where, hold on 1 minute. Wait, I'm trying to, I don't think I can do what I think I want to do. So let me just, oh, that's what I'm going to do. Here we go. Actually, let me take Ronnie. Okay, you're going to send me different objectives, Ronnie?
Yes.
Okay, so then I'm going to just wait for those. And I'm going to just show you all how I'm kind of working this out. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to add you up here. It'll be Ronnie.
Okay.
Okay, and then Ronnie, what I'm going to do is copy your objectives in here. And then what we'll do next week, hopefully you and the other ladies will all be on. But what I'm going to do is, hold on, why are you not? You're supposed to just open, it says shift space. Okay, shift space. There we go. So what I'm going to do is go through each of your objectives and make some recommendations for you. Okay. And then your job is going to be to go through and actually do the recommendations and check in with me about your progress, right? So when we come on to the sessions, I will have expected you to have done A, B, and C. And then you will give me feedback like I did this and this is how I feel or this is what I noticed or blah, blah, blah. We'll do that during the live sessions, right? Jenna, same thing for you. I'm not sure if you have the time to actually do this though. So because I think that you said you aren't sure because of your schedule and all that kind of thing. So look, and this is not a requirement that you show up at every single session. But it is a requirement that you commit to doing the work that we say that we're going to do, right? If you say that you're going to do this, I don't care if you show up to this session and you watch the replay later, or you don't show up to this session, but you watch the replay and you do the work. And, as long as you're doing the work in between our sessions, that's the most important thing. Okay. All right, very good. So anyway, this is what we're going to look at. And actually, I'm going to look at this right now. So these three people are not on the call with me. So I'm going to just run through. This is going to now be for them to kind of like, listen, just to kind of hear what my recommendations are. Ronnie, I'm going to wait for you to give me your objectives and we'll do this for you next week. Same thing for you, Jenna, if you're going to participate like that. Okay. But this is going to be for Rose. So Rose wants to build a career focusing on service instead of ego. And she wants to offer musical experiences that are healing, transformative, bring human beings into presence and connect to our shared divinity. That's a very beautiful desire and objective. So when I'm tuning in intuitively, I have a few things that are going on, but I need Rose's feedback in order to talk to her about that. So I'm going to leave that blank. She wants to reach different audiences authentically and build a consistent online following. She wants to connect to institutions of higher learning and offer her services as an artist in residence to diverse student bodies. This to me feels like something we would want to do with visioning and the cycle of manifestation. These things all sound really great. Let's see, engage with environmental issues through musical performance and develop frameworks for environmentally responsible music making. So as I'm tuning in here, what I'm seeing energetically is, let's say, earthwork and connecting with earth elementals. I'm also seeing channeling meditations, like maybe uniting with certain, I'm seeing tree people, so with certain elementals and channeling musical structures, and some of them might even be new musical structures and new, I'm just going to write in here, new musical structures, using new instruments, Not sure of exactly what that means, but this is there's some kind of an entity that's coming forth that would work with Rose to help create a new way of using music or creating music and bringing music using actual nature itself, particularly trees. And I should write that down, huh? Trees. For whatever reason, I'm getting trees housing animals and the energy that comes through. Okay, so that, if Rose were here, it would be a lot easier to kind of talk about this, to see what's going through her mind. But she'll get this, she'll listen to this, and she can give me feedback. All right, develop my musicianship skills and vocal abilities through daily practice, projects, and goals. Follow through on what I do instead of procrastinate. This is definitely straight up coaching basics 101. 101. So Rose, the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm assuming Rose is watching this, by the way, or going to watch this later. What I'm going to have you do, Rose, first step is number one, write down everything you want to do and create a schedule of when it needs to be done on a daily basis. Okay, this is a very practical way of doing this. And then what I want you to also do is period. Oh, darn it. Okay, see above. Okay, number two is I want you to write down your why. Why is developing your musicianship skills and vocal abilities important? What do you hope to achieve, and what do you hope to achieve? Okay. And why is it important? Okay, that's redundant, but I'm going to put it anyway. Okay, boom. That's for Rose. Boom. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm going to put this, cut, and then boom, boop, and then boom, paste. Darn it, it didn't work the way I wanted it to work. One, period. There we go. Now I got what I wanted. Boom, Rose is done. Okay. Ronnie, you are going to write new objectives, right? So I don't need to look at your objectives that you sent me, correct? Okay, very good. All right. Then the last one then we're gonna do Pre. And Pre says that she wants to gain clarity on what path she needs to take to progress her career and live a more fulfilling life. She wants part-time on current working, the extra time to generate. Also join health-based, also joined a health band but never got around to starting it off. I put my head in a lot of different things, but I never followed through. I want to grow again. Okay, so Pre, I'm thinking that the first thing I want you to do is to make a list of the things you want to do. And then this is going to be, and then make a hierarchy of priorities. So put them in order of the things that seem most important to you. And then what I want you to do is write down, I want you to kind of reflect and revisit and write down why you abandoned your projects. Make a list of all the reasons that came up, all the things that came up and made you abandon those things. All the reasons that you abandoned your projects. Abandoned, yeah, your projects, whatever. Abandoned your projects, okay? And then there's something that's coming in for me, Pre, and what I'm getting is there's that thing of scattering your energy. It's kind of like, I think this is also very Libra oriented. So I want you to write down for me, write down what okay. The thing that I'm trying to get to right now is more about scattered energy and a lack of commitment. So this is what I'm going to say. Explore your relationship with commitment and be able to talk about it at our next session. Okay? Right. By the way, if anyone who's on this session, Ronnie, Jenna, whoever's listening, if you notice that if any of these things are resonating with you, then please let's check back in, send me a note and, see if whatever feedback you have for me as I'm writing this, feel free to give it to me now so that I can maybe include it here, but also advise you while we're on the call together. Okay. So making a better lifestyle choice and improving my health. Okay, so for me, the first thing that's coming up is, again, getting to your why. So get to your why. Why do you need to improve your health and make better lifestyle choices? All right, and then giving back. I want to give back to this world and share my gifts with people to help them grow. Okay, that's your objective. All right, so then what I would say here is simply create a list of ways that you can give now, and note down any resistances you have. resist, not rest distances, resistance you have to giving now. Now is the important word, because it's not about giving in the future, it's about giving now. And we all make excuses about why we can't give now, but those excuses are merely obstacles, right? So relationships, I don't feel loved, and I am also unable to give love. I have been married for more than 10 years now, but there is little connection and understanding in the relationship. I just want to clear all the blockages impacting my relationship with my partner. So the thing that comes up for me right off the bat, Pri, is first developing that relationship with yourself, developing the relationship with yourself, finding your inner child, which I think is really important, and creating a bridge there first, and then seeing, really watching it blossom, and then letting, I'm going to put here, letting it blossom into your material, three-dimensional life with your partner. All right, boom. There's Pri. Ronnie and Jenna, do you guys have questions at all right now? Anything coming up for you? No? Okay, very good. All right, and then last we're going to do Katrina W, and she wants to make a commitment to improved physical health. All right, so the question that I need you to ask or answer, Katrina, is what do you want to improve and why? So you need to write both of those down. Okay, the why is just really important for helping you create a sense of connection and outreach. Let's see. Oh, somebody's chatting. Okay, let's see. Chat, where's the chat? I don't know where it, well, here it is, right in front of me. Ha. I have to get dressed to get virtual meeting at 9:30. I'll watch the replay, actually still listening while getting ready. Okay, no problem, Jenna. Okay. Proper mindset and balance. Proper mindset and balance. Okay, so the thing that's coming up for me, Katrina, is establishing a daily practice. And that will help you do your mindset and get the balance that you want. And what I mean when I say daily practice, I mean meditation, yoga, and shadow work, really. I mean, the shadow work is the most important part for me, but I can help you learn that while you're in this program with me, okay? And I can help you set that up, but I need to get your feedback. So what I would want from you is to write, make a list of what you want to do for your daily practice. And by that, I mean, do you want to meditate? Do you like chanting? Let's see, chanting, walking, what is it that you want to do to establish yourself, to establish proper mindset? And then the third thing I would ask you to do, Katrina, is to, again, like for the other ladies, is to write down why. Hey, and Ronnie and Jenna, when you all are doing your objectives, I'm going to be asking you why you want these objectives. So you might want to come next week with your objectives and your whys written out, or in your mind what they are. I think you should write down your why, because writing it down helps to activate it in the universe, and it activates it within your system. So this is for everyone within hearing range of me. Write down your why, because it's going to help you achieve your objective. Okay, why do you want this? Okay. And then the last thing that she has is career, passion, personal satisfaction, to find what that is, to discover it. All right. So I think this is coming off of a conversation we had yesterday, Katrina. And what I want to tell you first is to, maybe I'm having everybody write lists right now, which is cracking me up because I don't always make people write lists. But I feel like a list will be important for you because the sense that I'm getting is that there is some scattered energy that needs to be harnessed. And writing a list actually helps you harness energy very easily. Like the moment you write something down, like when you're upset and your head is full, and then you're like, I'm going to just write it all down. You write it down, and then afterwards, you're kind of like, oh, I feel better. It's like you've emptied your head, you've emptied your mind. So I think this is what Spirit is kind of channeling right now. So I'm good with it. So make a list of all the things you enjoy doing, and um, for the and explore which things you things excite you the most. Then write down why those things excite you. All right? Boom. That's going to be a good way for us to get started. That's it. All right. So, Ronnie, when you come with your objectives, we'll add those in next week. Okay. Actually, while I have everyone here, no, I think I might make a separate video for you all because this thing is called an Airtable. Actually, I'm going to put this into a Google spreadsheet, and you all will be able to access all of that information that I just wrote from the spreadsheet, and you can just go in there, write down your notes to me, and we'll just take our notes back and forth, and you'll be able to see everything written out, like whatever home fun I give you and stuff like that. Okay. All right. So that's it as far as I'm concerned. Um, Let me double check and see if anyone's on. Oh, Day is online. Day. Hey, Day. Hi. Day is asking, how can I approach shadow work? All right. So shadow work. I'm going to tell you all a little bit about shadow work right now, what I view shadow work to be. Shadow work is, you know how you're walking down the street and you're walking toward the sun and the light is shining on your face and you don't know it because you're facing the sun and you got your groove on, and but you have a shadow behind you, right? The sun is coming at you and it's casting the shadow behind you. That shadow is another part of you that you're not really aware of. So your shadow is kind of like your collection of dynamics that are existing below your conscious awareness. Okay, so your shadow is what's hidden in the darkness. Okay, so for example, negative emotions are shadow, hidden beliefs are shadow, also kind of like some karma, like especially, if it's negative, your karma is hidden in shadow. Okay. So that is what shadow is. Shadow work and how to deal with your shadow comes in many different forms. The first and most basic way is to stop. Like when you have a negative emotions, that's your shadow rising. When you have a negative emotion, your shadow is rising. It's trying to get your attention. So you can pause and say, hey, I've got a feeling, right? A negative feeling. So when that negative feeling arises, you would deal with it. Okay. Now, if you cannot deal with it in the moment because you're at work or you're in the middle of something, you make a note to self and you deal with it in the evening. Okay. So, first level of shadow work is having awareness that something's wrong. Then at night, the basic way of dealing with shadow is to actually listen to the problem very objectively. Write it down, get clear, get it off your chest, and then address whatever it is you can address. That's a very practical way of dealing with your shadow. Just itemizing things and then dealing with it. Okay. Now, another thing that you can do is to, when you see, let's say that you have an issue. I'm trying to think of an issue. Give me an issue, somebody. Um, let's say that, oh, here's an issue. Oh, I was on Facebook the other day. I made a post on Facebook and I said, I am binge eating. I'm going to eat all this food up in this refrigerator right here. It was something silly like that. I put it on that background that has the shit on it, like the little like background of the poop, right? Sorry, I forgot your child might be in the room, Ronnie. Sorry. Okay. Okay. The poop. Okay. Put it on the poop background. This was clearly a playful post. This was not me crying out for help, right? So why did this heifer get on the phone or get on my Facebook post and write, you are spiritually bypassing. Your ego is out of control and you need to stop eating and, be with spirit and stop ignoring your spirit. Now, this heifer is talking to me, the queen of dealing with her poop. Okay. Now, look, and to show you how out of context this is, there are literally there are literally 70 comments of people feeling the same thing, like, oh, I'm binge eating too. I ate Oreos, just ate a whole bag of this, I just ate that. Some people posted pictures of the meals, like fried pork chops and eggs and grits. Like, this is clearly a playful post. And this chick gets on here and puts this interjects one thing, and it pisses me off. So now I'm in shadow. She is not the issue. I is the issue. Okay. She's just doing her thing. I is the issue. I is in shadow. My shadow is showing. Okay. So what do I do? Okay. This is how I deal with shadow. I notice my energy, notice my posture. I notice the warmth. I notice the anger, right? Then I start naming my emotions. How do I feel? I feel angry. I feel irritated. I want to rip that. I acknowledge all these things I feel. Okay, this is how you deal with your shadow. Acknowledge it, validate it. Don't invalidate it. Oh, I shouldn't feel this way. Oh, I should be more mature. Oh, I should be. No, don't should on yourself. Just don't do that. Acknowledge how you feel, breathe, and just give yourself the space to feel the way you feel. And then after you've done that, you should have some space to get more clarity. So then you can write down, okay, what is going on, right? I'm feeling like I'm being shamed for my weakness. So when I start to listen, I realize that, oh, I feel shamed because I have a weakness and I shared my weakness, and this heifer like just kind of shat on me. You should be doing this. She just shat on my moment of vulnerability, right? So now I'm sitting with that feeling of being shat on, and I don't like it one bit. Do not should on me ever. And the images that are coming up in my mind, I see a child, and she's got a whole bunch of stuff that was just dumped on her, like she's supposed to bear this, you know, and she's humiliated and she's been shat upon. That is my inner child. And my responsibility, okay, this is the shadow work. This is how you do shadow work. I see that child. Now I must go to her, right? I feel what she feels. She can't breathe, okay? She's suffocating under this other person's shit, okay? This other person's guilt, and they're trying to shame her into this, you know, to being less than, okay? So what I'm doing now, I'm feeling that child's disappointment, her sadness, her shame. And what I'm also doing is I'm going to her and I'm wiping off that shame. Okay. I'm saying, hey, I'm here for you. I'm rescuing you. So now what I'm seeing myself do is clean this child up. So she's not shamed any longer. She's not bearing the burden of that woman's crap. And so the child is now free from the crap. And what I'm doing is I'm listening to what the child says, okay? And she's crying, and what she's saying is, they always do this to me. They always blame me for everything that's wrong. And I am tired of being blamed. And what I'm doing is validating her. I'm not correcting her. I'm validating the child. Yes, darling, I understand. You have always been blamed. You have always been put upon. They are wrong for doing this to you, and you should feel tired for this. Okay, I'm validating her. And now I'm observing to see what the child looks like. And because the child has said what she's had to say, and she sees me, and I see her, the child has totally transformed. She doesn't look like the same child. She looks very different. She looks stronger, better, right? So she's holding on to me, and she's whispering in my ear. She says, I am stronger than you imagine. I'm stronger than you think. So this is one way of working with your shadow, okay? If you really want to get into this day, you would definitely come join us on Wednesdays and send me your objectives, and then we'll get into your specific issues, okay? Boom! That's it, y'all. Boy, I'm having lots of healing experiences today. All right, so if there are any questions from Ronnie, from Jenna, I know you got to sign off. It's 9:25. Ronnie, are you okay? Good. All right. So we can go ahead and sign off for today, y'all. And I will see you back here at the same time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay?
All right. Thank
All
you.
right. Excellent. You're welcome, Ronnie. I'll see you soon. Have a good
Okay,
week.
you
Bye,
too.
Jenna. Bye, everybody. Bye.